Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is an example of democracy and how democracy is accepted or not accepted depending on who wins. If the process follows its course and people just vote in a certain way and the wrong candidate wins, then there's no democracy, and we gotta discredit the outcome of democracy how much we can through mass media, politicians, NGOs, and other garbage. In this case, I will use the Netherlands, the Dutch elections, where Geert Wilders, we know it's far-right guy, won the elections. His party is in charge. Now, it seems like he cannot form a coalition, not even with the ones close to him. Why? Well. I suspect that's a lot of negotiating occurring behind the scenes between the guys in charge and the parties. So it seems like he's not going to be the prime minister of the Netherlands. Nevertheless, he still has a voice. He's still alive. I think he's 60 or 61, something like that. So he could have potentially about 12, 13 years where he could also be in charge of something if these guys allow him. He has to dilute his message because the mass media is in full force discrediting his statements. You can say, well, the statements are over there for you to see. Yes, they are, and many people agree with them. The mass media still discredits them. Let me show you what's going on here. Each country should have its own course, and people should be free of expressing their views on issues. So Geert Wilders, he disagrees, he opposes any security agreement with Ukraine. He said, no, I don't think it's right and good for our country. Let's see what this guy has to say. This is not very obviously popular with some groups. The Kiev Independent. Dutch far-right leader Wilders against signing security agreement with Ukraine. This is the suspect, delinquent, right? Okay. Dutch far-right leader Geert Wilders said on February 24th that he is against the Netherlands signing a 10-year agreement on security cooperation with Ukraine the day after Dutch Defense Minister Kajsa Ollongren said the Netherlands plans to sign the agreement. The UK, Germany, Denmark, and France have already signed similar agreements based on a pledge made by the Group of Seven last July to help Ukraine repel Russia's aggression. All right, now that's a piece of propaganda for you. It's okay, do the same thing the Brits and the French did with Poland, and then you remember what happened. And I'm quoting, the war that Russia started against Ukraine 2 years ago can only be called illegal and barbaric, end quote. Wilders posted on X, adding that his party is willing to discuss any form of aid. But, and I'm quoting, an ongoing cabinet cannot conclude a 10-year agreement. Cannot. They will. And I don't think you can change it unless you're Trump and say, you know what, we're going to just fuck it up. Wilders said earlier this in the week, Wilders railed against Ukraine refugees, saying on February 19 that they are coming to Netherlands for, and I'm quoting, free housing, free healthcare, and our job. Is it true? That's the first question. Do they receive free housing? Do they receive free healthcare? Is it true? And our job. Why our job? Because the Ukrainian will go and work as a laborer at a lower price than the Dutch. Therefore, the Dutch would be fired because that's what market dictates. If I make a profit, how do I make a profit? The production of the labor involved in this one is cheaper. The product I can compete on the market by lowering. So people will buy more of mine because it was produced cheaper. So I can afford to lower or keep the same price and make a bigger profit than the rest who hire, I don't know, a Dutch guy, let's say a laborer with 20 euros an hour. You're going to hire a Ukrainian with 10 euros an hour. That 10 with 10 is going to give you a cheaper production. Labor cost, cheaper. Clear? Clear. Is he right? Yeah, he's right. And as an owner of a business, you look for profit. That's why you are in the business. You look for a profit. So what is going to be making sense? Getting this cheaper or getting it more expensive? Cheaper, because if I get it cheaper, I can make a bigger profit. So is he right? He's right. The Netherlands held an election in November 2023, which saw Geert Wilders' far-right party, the Freedom PVV, emerge as the largest force in parliament with 37 seats. Why? People voted. Since the Dutch parliament has 150 seats, the PVV needs to form a coalition with multiple parties in order to rule. After 11 weeks of negotiations, talks with 3 other parties to form a new coalition government stalled in early February. New elections? Or the other guys are going to try to form their party, their government? Mark Rutte, therefore, remains the country's caretaker prime minister until a new government is formed. Mark Rutte wants to be, and seems to be, the new NATO Secretary General. Secretary, the one who takes phone calls, make appointments, that's a secretary. All right, so he doesn't have power. Rutte told the Kiev Independent reported at the Munich Security Conference on February 17th that the Netherlands is actively working with Kiev, I would say Kiev, on a bilateral agreement on security guarantees. Rutte voiced optimism that the discussions should be closed fairly soon. So these guys are trying to ratify certain kind of contracts, let's put it this way, in which I help you, and then the future or the next government cannot resiliate them. Why are you going to destroy them, change them? I say I'm walking away. I think they can. You always can. After all, the United States of America did it on 2. Remember the Paris climate garbage? That was one agreement, and the other one was with Iran. Remember? I was about to say Putin. Trump said we're out, and they were out. And still, the United States of America held its credibility as a serious partner. So why can't Wilders do the same thing? Because we say so. And who's we? Well, certain people. All right, my friends. Here is Geert Wilders, who is kept away from getting what is his. But you can say, well, that's how it works in politics. Okay, all right. Well, I agree with you. That's exactly how it works in politics. That's why we have imbeciles like Kamala Harris and Biden as president and vice president of the United States of America, because democracy works. Do you think that the Americans are proud of that guy who's and the stupid, how do you call her? How should I put it? Ignorant individual, which is Kamala Harris? If democracy promotes and allows this kind of people to be voted in the office, I mean, then what would be a problem with the bad dudes that these guys designate as bad dudes? The bad dudes designated by the mass media and the paymasters are good dudes for many others. And I was about to say Deutschland. The Dutch elections showed it. The bad dude Wilders won. His party won. Even the guys in Poland, the party won. But the problem is the other guys were able to form a coalition and kicked out the party. They're what? Justice and something? Well, that's the way it works. That's the politics is. So the will of the people. Yes, the will of the people. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.